said the geek shall inherit the earth.
There you are, and it's the word "shall."
Kind of goes along with Shatner.
Right, shall, or you're a geek.
Oh yeah, full blown. I love it.
I need a definition of geek. I know.
Someone who loves and is not afraid to say, I love pop culture. I love this genre, that genre.
All right.
Have a lot of pens like I do.
There you go. But no, your career, you've had an illustrious career. You even got kind of your start in early age with Twilight Zone. I've always wanted to know, how was it to work with Rod Serling and be a part of something that was so ahead of its time?
Well, that's hindsight. At that moment, everybody was struggling to make a living, including Rod Serling. Nobody knows that those things happen. I'm reading a book that's about 10 years old about how everything exists in a critical state. It's just waiting to be tipped over by some occasion. And it can be a minor occasion that tips it slightly, or it can be a minor occasion that tips it and makes an avalanche. What starts an avalanche, in effect? One snowflake is just one thing too many, and an avalanche starts. But there are many minor avalanches. What starts something that is groundbreaking? So did Serling, at that moment, he was just making a show, did he tip the balance so that everybody now looks back at that show and says, that was the defining moment? I think that's what happened. Star Trek the same way. Did Star Trek come at the precise right moment when science fiction literature was at its apex, and there were other little science fiction shows that tantalized everybody's curiosity, and then here comes Star Trek, and bang, it becomes a phenomenon, but it was just part of a groundswell. What is a renaissance? It's just change is happening all the time, and we're in a continuous state of change, and in a critical state of change all the time. All these people are coming to a comic convention or a Star Trek convention for various reasons. Their own personal reasons, and then they're imbued by a need which has to do with mythology. It has to do with a need for explanation of their lives, and most of them don't know that that's why they're here. Most of them don't know that they're in the middle of a ritual that is cultural, and that's what my documentary examines.
Well, it's a sense of community and a sense of belonging, which everybody strives for.
That's exactly right. It's a sense of community. That's one of the aspects of Comic-Con, is a sense of community. You go out on the streets. I've been driving to these interviews, and did you spit in that at all?
Yeah.
No, okay.
I wouldn't be so sure about that one.
Right. Well, she said yes, I think. There's a sense of community that these people you see in these restaurants are all sitting around. You're walking there. There's an ease and a joy, a sense of pleasure out there. There's no harm in these masses of people. They're not here to riot and to throw ash cans. They're here to have fun. There's a general feeling of gentility. Because everybody that's come to Comic-Con, spent their money to come and time to come to Comic-Con, are here for a definitive purpose. And that purpose is what I examine in Get a Life. See? Look at that. Look at that. That's great.
So with the book and the documentary, is there a particular story that stands out from one of your fans that...
I used different stories when I was doing the book. I went around and talked to different people. I talked to a woman, had multiple personalities, different voices, all of them Star Trek. There's a kid in a wheelchair suffering from Lou Gehrig's disease. Captain Dave is his name. And in his bright blue eyes, you see the fervor for life, even though all he can do is blow into a little tube and guide his wheelchair. But he's whizzing from one panel to the other, and he's moving around. at faster than anybody can walk because of his vitality to live, and things happen that will move you in this documentary. The science fiction has been spoken about as the search for God. What is out there? What is in those stars with planets that go around them? The billions and billions of stars of more than likely more than one universe. It's staggering to use your imagination and to read these writers and watch these movies with great artists painting the background and giving you a possibility of what you would see if you were capable of doing that. You're never going to be able to do it because we can't go there. But we can go there in our imaginations. And that's what science fiction is about. And that's why these people are here.
Thank
One
you,
of the
everybody.
reasons.
Thank you so much.
Mr.
Thank you.
Shatner,
Thank you so much.
it's an honor. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Well, I don't know about you kids, but I'll tell you what, that was a pivot point of my life. William Shatner, a man I grew up with watching on television, his whole evolution, his whole career, incredibly awesome guy, very, very nice, a mensch, providing a mitzvah to all of us out there who enjoy these genres that encompass the universe of Comic-Con.